Listen guys, I'm going to tell you something you should not ignore. You should buy Slay the Spire 2. I know that the game is still in early access. It's not finished, it's not perfectly balanced, and there are definitely moments where the game just feels straight up unfair. But that's kind of the point. Because even in its current state, Slay the Spire 2 already feels like one of the most thoughtful, satisfying, and genuinely exciting deck builders you can play right now. This isn't just more of the same. I mean, it is, but it's a sequel that understands exactly what made the original special, and then pushes it in some really interesting directions. So, if you've been holding off because it's not complete yet, I mean, I get it, but let's talk about why this might actually be the perfect time to jump in. For anyone who missed the first game, Slay the Spire 2 is a roguelike deck builder. You build a deck of cards as you climb through a series of increasingly difficult encounters, picking up relics, events, and upgrades along the way. Every run is different. Every decision matters, and your success usually comes down to how well you understand the systems. This sequel builds directly on that foundation. It brings back familiar mechanics, characters, and ideas, but it also introduces new systems, new characters, and a lot more depth in how everything interacts. Right now, it's in early access, meaning the game isn't content complete as of this video. But even with that in mind, there is already a lot here. The first thing that really stands out about Slay the Spire 2 is just how thoughtful it is as a sequel. This isn't one of those follow-ups that just throws in more content for the sake of it. Everything here feels intentional. It feels like the developers really looked at what worked in the first game and asked, how can we evolve this without losing what made it special? And the answer, in a lot of ways, is depth. Now, when I say the game feels more technical, I don't mean it suddenly becomes overwhelming. It's more that the decisions you make feel more layered. Energy, for example, is way more important this time around. In the first game, managing energy was always a key part of your strategy, but here, it feels like the entire flow of combat revolves around it. You have more ways to gain energy, but almost every method comes with some kind of trade-off. You'll see that in cards like Brightest Flame and Relax. You'll feel it in returning relics like Philosopher's Stone or Velvet Choker. And then you've got newer relics like Whispering Earring, Blessed Antler, and Pale's Flesh, all adding even more ways to manipulate your resources. And what's interesting about this is that none of this is just free power. Every time you gain something, you're giving something up. And that creates this constant tension in your runs where you're asking yourself, is this actually worth it? That kind of decision making is what makes deck builders so addictive. And Slay the Spire 2 absolutely nails it. Combat itself also feels tougher across the board. You can't just rely on basic strategies anymore. You have to think, plan your turns carefully, and really understand your build. That ties directly into build variety. Returning characters have been reworked in some really fun ways. They're familiar, but not identical. You've got new cards to experiment with, new mechanics like Retain and Sly, and even completely new ideas like the Defects Glass Orbs. These changes might seem small at first, but they open up a ton of new possibilities. It's the kind of game where one relic or one card can completely change the direction of your run. And then you have the new characters, which are easily one of the biggest highlights here. The Regent introduces a second resource system, which fundamentally changes how you approach combat. Some cards use one resource, some use the other, and some will require you to use both. That alone adds a whole new layer of strategy. And when everything comes together, you can create some incredibly strong setups, especially in later acts. Then you've got unique cards like Sovereign Blade, a simple 2-cost attack that can be scaled by other cards into something ridiculously powerful. And when it works, it's one of the most satisfying things in the game. Then there's the Necrobinder. This character isn't just different. She comes with a companion named Otzi, and you actively interact with it throughout your run. You can strengthen it, use it to deal damage, and it can even take hits for you. It adds this whole companion dynamic that feels completely fresh. But the real standout to the Necrobinder is the Doom mechanic. If an enemy has less health than the Doom applied to them, they just die at the end of their turn. I mean, it's such a cool idea. And yeah, sometimes it feels a little unfair, but that's what makes it fun. Because when you pull off a perfect setup and everything just collapses in your favor, it just feels amazing. And that same design philosophy carries into another big addition: multiplayer. Now, this is something that could have easily felt unnecessary. The original game was a perfect solo experience. It didn't need multiplayer, but Slay the Spire 2 actually makes it work, and not just as a gimmick. Instead of changing the core game, it builds on it. You're still deck building, still making decisions, still adapting to randomness. But now, you're doing it alongside other players. And that adds a completely new layer to the experience. Because now it's not just about your build. It's about how your build interacts with someone else's. You start thinking differently. You might lean into certain strategies because your teammate can cover your weaknesses. Or you might both go all in on something completely broken just to see what happens. That's where a lot of the fun comes from. It creates these moments where things either come together perfectly or completely fall apart, and both outcomes are entertaining. It also makes the game feel more social. You're reacting to what's happening, talking through decisions, and every run starts to feel like a shared experience instead of just something you're doing alone. Multiplayer adds even more replay value. Even if you've already experimented with builds in solo runs, multiplayer changes the dynamic enough to make everything feel fresh again. Beyond that, progression is also more engaging this time around. You've got lore-based unlocks called epochs, tied to character-specific quests, and these aren't just small rewards. They can unlock cards, relics, new stages, and even new events. Every time you unlock one, it feels meaningful. It also gives you a real reason to try every character and explore everything the game has to offer. Then you've got the ancients, like Niao, who now give you unique relics at the start of each act. These aren't throwaway bonuses. They can define your entire run and push you towards specific builds. And all of this comes together to create what is easily the game's biggest strength, even in early access. There's just a lot of content here. The build variety, the characters, the events, the relics. It all combines into a game that feels endlessly replayable. And the event system in particular adds a ton of mystery. Some events can completely change your run. Some can save you. Others can ruin everything. But that unpredictability is exactly what makes it exciting. Now, the game isn't perfect, obviously. And it's important to be honest about that. The biggest issue right now is balance. There are definitely moments where the game feels unfair. Some enemies hit harder than expected, and some encounters feel like they punish you no matter what you do. There are runs where you feel like you're doing everything right, and then suddenly you're just done. That can be frustrating. But at the same time, that unpredictability is also part of what makes the game so engaging. It creates high-stakes moments where every decision matters, and when you do overcome something difficult, it feels earned. Still, it's something to keep in mind. This is early access. The game isn't fully balanced yet, and it shows. And then there's the fact that it's not content complete. There's already a lot here, but it's not the final version. If you're someone who prefers a fully polished experience, you might want to wait, because things will change. But even with that said, what's here right now is already really strong. So, who is Slay the Spire 2 for right now? If you love the first game, this is an easy recommendation. It builds on everything that worked while adding enough new ideas to keep it feeling fresh. If you're into deck builders, this is absolutely worth your time. The systems are deep, the builds are satisfying, and the game constantly gives you interesting decisions to make. If you enjoy roguelikes where things can go wrong and you're okay with a bit of chaos, you are absolutely going to love this. And honestly, if you like playing games with friends, that's another big reason to jump in. Because the multiplayer here isn't just a bonus feature. It actually adds something meaningful to the experience. On the other hand, if you want perfect balance or a fully complete experience, you might want to hold off for now. So let's bring it back to the title. You should buy Slay the Spire 2. Even in early access, this game already delivers an incredible amount of value. The systems are strong, the new mechanics are genuinely interesting, the multiplayer adds even more replayability, and most importantly, it's just fun. It's the kind of game where you finish a run and immediately want to start another. Yes, it's not perfectly balanced, and yes, it's not fully complete. But what's here right now is more than enough to justify jumping in. And the fact that it already feels this good and even has solid multiplayer in early access just makes it even easier to recommend. At the end of the day, Slay the Spire 2 does exactly what a sequel should do. It respects the original and introduces new ideas that actually matter. It's deeper without being overwhelming, more complex without losing its identity. And even in its unfinished state, it already feels like something really special. This is one of those games where you can clearly see the potential, and the best part is, it's already delivering on it. So yeah, if you've been thinking about it, this is your sign. Go pick it up. But that's going to do it for this video. If you've been playing Slay the Spire 2, let me know what you think down in the comments. Are you enjoying it now, or are you waiting for the full release? And if you found this helpful, make sure to like the video and subscribe to Controller Culture for more videos like this. And as always guys, I'll see you all in the next one.